So it's been a long time since I've made videos. For those of you who have tuned in on my private shows, I want to say hello. And for those of you who are just watching this for the first time, I want to say hello. And I'm going to start with what's very important is what's going on with Iran and Israel. Currently, there's a cultural disconnect that's finally beginning to make sense from both sides. The Shiite world was a secretive kind of almost a cultish kind of a version of Islam. They were known as a blood cult because they would cut themselves and do lacerations on a large group, not just like a few special priests or anything. Like the Opus Dei, they hurt themselves, but this is a group that literally 30% of all men would in certain days of the year come and cut themselves and bleed and let a lot of blood come out from their backs, especially the back of their necks, the top of their heads. And it was also known as a death cult, a group of people that keep talking about death and the next world, death and the next world. This world is nothing, skip right over it, go right into the next world. And then they came across each other. Israel has to cross paths with this government in Iran, and I think they've done a great job. So right now what we're seeing is basically Israel is using the honor system. Usually Israel obliterates it when it has an enemy, and it tells the world 100 times. It walks into the UN and says it again and again. We can't stand this, we can't stand that, we can't build on this, we can't build on that, so we're going to destroy it. They just usually go and destroy it, and that's been the way they've been in the last 70 years. That's 2.5, 3 generations. A little more than 3 generations technically. But recently with this Iranian enemy, they've been trying to court them. They've been trying to figure out, how can we work with these people? How can we find a common ground? And one of the things they realize is they're using the honor system. So they're letting them, they want to fight man to man, and they want all the women and children out of the way. And that's what's going to happen. What's happening is a very, very deadly theater in southern Lebanon right now. It's going to be and Hezbollah is taking up the offer. They already went in Nabatea, at least what I've seen on the news. They've gone door to door telling women and children, please do leave. It's not a psych warfare. Get out of here and go north where you're going to be safe. We're standing back here to fight. And I think they're also taking from Iraq. I remember what the Shia do, and in Kuwait. The Shia actually haven't been respected as much in Kuwait. But what they do is ask for the use of their homes. They're like, well, you're going to leave your home. There's not a lot of stuff here. Is it okay if we use your home? And that's what's happening right now. So Hezbollah is holed up in a lot of different places and a lot of different homes that might not be traceable. And they're waiting for the Israelis to come in, and then they're going to pummel each other. They're going to fight each other. And the Israelis are going to, my whole understanding of Israel, and I don't know for sure, they're not going to go in ground invasion, because they're not going in there to get stuck for 15, 10 years. They're going in there to destroy them, to either kick them out of Lebanon entirely, or to make sure that there's nothing like this ever again, that there's no armed militia or even a party named Hezbollah. That's what I think. From what I see, I just look at the same news you guys do, and I try to gather the same information. And from what I'm getting is that it's going to be a bloodbath. There's going to be a real war. There's going to be a real war, or at least what we call a limited scope war. But it's not going to be just a few battles. It's going to be a amalgamation of battles in the south, which are going to be the war. And that's all I want to say. We're going to have to, we're going to have to keep checking up and seeing what's going on. And I will let you all know for sure what I think.